Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the channel. And today I partnered with my friend Coach Punch as we want to give you a tutorial on how to improve your air dribbles. So if you find this video helpful in the end, then please don't forget to like, subscribe and share it with your friends as they could improve their Rocket League games. And now let's start the video with Coach Punch.
Hello, hello. Hope you guys are doing well. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about air dribbling off the wall, okay? And basically teaching you guys the step-by-step on how to properly do it. So one of the main things that people get wrong is that they think the air dribble consists of just pushing it off the wall and then just hitting it and then doing something like this, right? So this is not really what you're looking to do in an air dribble, actually. What you actually want to be doing is having proper ground control. Ground control, and then also as you're controlling it, actually want to have proper aerial control as well. Okay? So, what you want to do first is making sure that the ball isn't bouncing around or that the ball is just getting way too fast, right? Even though it's very important that you build some momentum on the ground, okay? It's very important that it's just not running away from you to the point that then the ball gets here and then you gotta like be boosting into it, okay? And I'm gonna get into that a bit more later, right? Besides that, it's very important that you focus on getting the same exact angle as the ball, right? And the reason being is that if you don't have the same angle as the ball, what's gonna happen here is this. As you're jumping, you're not gonna have the same angle as the ball, meaning that you're gonna have to adjust yourself more in order to get to the ball. Meaning that, it takes a bit more skill, it's requiring more movements and so on. And probably one of the hardest things is going to be, as you're learning, is going to be adjusting yourself and then pointing towards the ball and doing all that. So complicating that or overcomplicating that a little bit more, it's just going to make it much, much harder to do. Okay. So as we all know, same angle. Okay. And we do want to build some momentum as we're going towards the wall. Okay. Now, the other thing is going to be the angle that you use. All right. It's very specific to how far away you are from the ball, from the goal. Sorry, but the closer you are to the goal, the more almost like vertical you gotta be. Okay, and the further away you are, the more diagonal you gotta be, right? Because the more diagonal you go, the more towards the wall you're gonna be pushing the ball to. You see, but the more vertical we go, right? The more like towards the middle we're pushing the ball. Does that make sense? So if you are like super far like this on the other side, basically, we gotta go a bit more diagonal, right? So in order, whenever we push the ball off the wall, the ball's already gonna be going towards the net, right? But if we were like, let's just say we're going for this one, right? But if we were like this close, we want to go a bit more vertical, so that way we still get like the angle that we want. Otherwise, if you're going a bit too diagonal, what's gonna happen is we're just gonna be pushing it into the wall, right? Take a look at this, right? And it just makes our angle super, super tough to get, all right? So this is basically something that you gotta adjust depending on how far away you are from the net or how close you are, right? But usually you're gonna do this from this angle right here, okay? So this is the angle that I'm gonna be focusing on as I'm gonna be teaching you guys, right? So like we talked about, we do wanna build some momentum so we don't require it to use as much boost once we're on the wall. But at the same time, we don't want to get too speedy because otherwise we're going to keep on needing to use more boosts on the wall. And again, that's not what we want because that's just going to push the ball off the wall. Okay? So you do want to build some momentum, but don't boost on the wall so that way when you touch, you see, the ball gets closer to you. All right? Because the moment you actually use boosts on the wall, this is what's going to happen. See, it pushes the ball a little bit further from the wall. And again, that's just going to be overcomplicating things. We want to keep things as easier as possible with the less adjustments needed possible, okay? Because that's what we want as we're learning something. As it's obvious, as you're getting better and so on, you can do things like way quicker, no need to do the perfect setup and so on because you're going to be able to adjust yourself and do whatever you would like, right? But if you're starting to learn something, you want to keep it as simple as possible and learn the proper step by step, and then you start like ramping up the difficulty by adding a bit more speed, adding a bit more spins to make it look cooler and so on. It's completely up to you, okay? So let's get into it again, step by step. So same angle, building the momentum, okay? And something that's very, very important is that as you're going up the wall, no need to use the brakes. What you want to do is actually lifting up the throttle. So that way you slow a tiny, tiny bit down. So that way, as you're coming across this little edge, you're not like stuck to the ball. Because otherwise, you're going to be pushing the ball off the wall, okay? If you're going up like this with that, you see? This will happen. And this is what we want to avoid. So what do you want to do? Go like this, let go of the throttle, hit the ball, jump, and then that's the next step we're going to go into, okay? So your goal is, as you're going diagonally, you, of course, right here, you're going to lift up the throttle, you go up, jump. So right here, you want to use the right air roll. I'm not saying the actual right one, but you want to use the actual right air roll in order to adjust the car properly, so you don't need to be doing like a 180, basically. You don't want to jump off the wall and needing to do this, okay? If you only have one of the directional air rolls and you don't really use the free air roll, let's just say, that's completely fine. You're just going to have to deal with it, okay? But if you do have both directional air rolls or the free air roll, you want to make sure that you air roll to the right side, okay? Or to the proper side. Let's not say right side, so I don't mix you guys up, okay? So let's go into that wall, okay? Lift up the throttle, hit it, jump, adjust, okay? That adjustment needs to be done instantly as you jump off the wall. You don't want to be boosting as you're doing the adjustment, okay? It's very important that as you jump off the wall, you don't boost, because you want to adjust first towards the ball, and then you're going to start using the boost, okay? Because if you, as you're going up the wall, and when you jump, and even if you boost just a tiny bit, you're going to put yourself above the ball, which is something that you want to avoid. It's very important that you get on this angle in order to be properly able to control the ball, which is kind of like underneath diagonally. I'm not sure if you guys were able to tell from there. I'm going to do it from the other wall too. It's very important that as you guys are practicing to do the same exact thing as I'm doing here, okay? Right. And from there, as you can see, I'm kind of like controlling the boost, and especially on the first few touches, it's very important that you control the boost, and then once the ball is actually controlled, then you can use a bit more boost, okay? Now, no need to do any crazy amounts of air roll like you see many pros do and many people do. You can still do it as you're air dribbling, but it's just, you're basically overcomplicating it, okay? As you can see, you're still going to be able to do it. If you're used to doing it, sure, you can keep on doing it, but just remember, you're kind of overcomplicating things and most likely making it less consistent, okay? It's very important that you learn things, and especially as you're starting to learn something, you want to keep it as simple as possible so you can learn it as effectively as possible too, okay? So you don't need to waste so much time, right? Now, in terms of changing directions, because that sometimes it's going to be needed, let's just say, again, if you ended up doing the setup a bit too much towards the wall or a bit too much towards the front and so on, it's in the first adjustment that you got to see that, okay? And then from there, you choose where you want to be going, okay? So basically, and it's just thinking about it, because if I push too diagonal, I know that I'm going to have to go more towards the right side of the ball in order to push it to that side. Did that make sense? Okay. But if I push too much far into the middle of the field, I know that I'm going to have to come to this side right here in order to start pushing it towards the goal, okay? And again, it's about doing like very gentle movements. You don't want to overboost, because when you overboost, especially on the first touch, what's going to happen is this. Look, you're just pushing the ball away, and then it becomes like super, super hard for you to control it, okay? So it's very important, like I mentioned before, first few touches need to be very, very gentle. Sometimes I don't even use boost, you see? And look how much smoother the ball gets on top of my car. And yeah, now in terms of actually practicing this, I know there's plenty of training packs out there and even workshop maps and so on. The best way is going to be being here on free play, okay? Start here, make sure you put yourself on the same exact angle as the ball, build momentum, stop, hit it, jump, and then adjust yourself. I point a bit too much towards the middle. Now this was me kind of like slowly adjusting myself more towards the right side in order for me to get to the proper angle that I wanted. And you see, like really controlling the boost. And once I have the ball actually controlling my car, then you can, exaggerate it a little bit more if needed. Okay. But yeah, that would be it for this little video on how to air dribble, and take care.
I hope this video improves your game, and if you want more, then don't forget to like and subscribe for more training coming soon on the channel. See you soon, guys. Have a good day.